Alright, so this video is a continuation of chapter 4.1, where we're looking at surface area again, but in spheres. So a sphere is something you may or may not have heard before, but you've certainly seen one. So a sphere is like a ball. It's like a three-dimensional ball. And so that could be a ball or the earth, or there's just plenty of different options out there. So the very first step that I want to teach you guys is about the radius and diameter. So those may or may not be some words that you've heard before, but I want to draw your attention to down here. So the word radius means that you draw a line from the very center of the circle and you draw it out to the outside of the circle. And the word diameter is where we actually go from one edge of the circle all the way to the other and through the middle. Okay, so that's why I've given you two different formulas right here, because sometimes you'll get the radius and sometimes you'll have the diameter. So the very first step in doing this is to figure out which one we have and then fill out the formula. So now I want you to take out the formula sheet that you used for the rectangular prism, and I want you to fill this out for a sphere. So go ahead and add another line to your formula sheet for a sphere. Now that you've done that, I want to draw your attention to something here. And it's this little symbol right here. This little symbol is called pi. And what that is actually a little button on your calculator. It's a number, but we make it a button to make it a lot easier for you. So you'll notice on my computer calculator, it's right here. And if you are working on an iPhone, for example, and that's your calculator, then you're going to actually have to tilt your phone to the side to make it a bigger calculator, and then it's at the very bottom. Okay? So let's get back to this. So again, the very first step is to figure out if we have the radius or the diameter in our picture. So in this picture, you'll notice that the line is only going from the middle to the outside. So that means that we're going to be using our first one that has radius in it. So it's going to be the radius, which is 3, times the radius, which is 3, times 4, times pi. So I want you to do that on your calculator right now. 3 times 3 times 4 times pi. And then I want you to hit equals, which will give you 113.097. So it's really important that you hit equals after you tap the pi key, because a number will come up that's 3.14 and a bunch of other numbers. So that's why it's important that you hit equals to get the final answer. Now the last step that we do is we look at the units. So in this case, we have feet. And because it's surface area, we're going to put a little 2 on top. All right, let's move on to the next one. So in this one, you'll notice it's a bit different because we have the line going all the way across, which means it's a diameter. If it helps you remember, think of the diameter as being longer across the circle, and the diameter is a longer word than radius. Okay? So we've got the diameter, which is 12, times the diameter, which is 12, times pi. So again, go ahead and do that in your calculator. And then I want you to write down the unit. Okay, so 12 times 12 times pi, and then equals, is 452.389. Then for the units, it's going to be centimeters squared. All right, for our last one, I would like you to pause the video and figure out if we're going to use the radius or the diameter for this one. And then I would like you to finish off the formula. Okay, so our line only goes halfway. So we're going to be doing this one right here, where it's the radius times the radius times 4 times pi. And when you put those in your calculator, you're going to get 615.75. Then the units is going to be centimeters and a 2 up top. All right, so you are now ready to complete the rest of chapter 4.1 homework. And now you can work on the questions 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And a little piece of special information, 2 of the questions on the chapter quiz will be similar to the homework questions.